This isn't your job. I don't know who told you that, why you think this is your job, or why you think just following orders is some kind of an excuse. Your country here is collapsing in front of our eyes. I'm sorry, but this is not your job. Let me get to this first because this is just disgusting, disturbing, and I'm having a difficult time digesting how overnight the Bill of Rights seems to be forfeited in the Constitution. Lawmakers who swore, by the way, to uphold the Constitution appear to believe that the Constitution was a suggestion. It isn't. The Constitution is not a suggestion. The Constitution is not optional. And I'm unsure where lawmakers read in the Bill of Rights, specifically the First Amendment, which specifically prohibits the establishment of any kind of state religion, prohibits any laws. Congress shall establish no laws interfering with peaceful assembly, the freedom of speech, and the freedom of the press. I'm unsure where these state lawmakers miss that. What do you think? Because you're in the States, you're not subjected to the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Is that what's going on? Quick example is, you can see playing in the background this video here. I'll describe it to our audio listeners. There was a tattoo parlor owner, North Carolina, goes by the name of Jax, who was arrested for merely the act of opening the door to his business. This is just gross in Apex, North Carolina. We're going to try to get Jax on the phone. We'll include the interview in tomorrow's show. I mean, what's going on? What is this, Cuba? Are we in the? Was this so? This is Soviet Union. Did I miss something? Congress shall establish no law interfering with people, American citizens' right to peaceful assembly, the freedom of the press, to practice their religion. Did you miss all this? What is the governing bodies in Apex, North Carolina, and police supervisors and charges? What are you doing? Again, I've had the back of our police officers before many of you have even been alive on the left. I was one. But what are you doing? Where are the police unions here? I have a story today in the New York Post at the show notes. De Blasio, the communist mayor of New York City, is releasing criminals back onto the street. I'll have you know, by the way, that roughly 50% of the crime, do you know this? The majority of the crime, 50% or more, is committed by between 5 and 10% of the population. So a small number of people are committing most of the crimes, yet we're releasing those people back onto the streets. Communist mayor of New York, de Blasio, while we're arresting innocent American citizens for practicing what? Their right to show up at their own business? Listen, I'm very sorry, but for the people involved, I know that I've got a lot of emails. I've received a ton of them from police officers who won't do this. I'm asking you a serious question here. Who told you just following orders was an excuse? It's not. You swore an oath. Did that not matter? And believe me, I'm receiving an overwhelming number of emails from actual frontline police officers fully objecting to this, saying, I'm not going to be involved in this. Where are the police unions backing your men up and saying, we will not participate in this? It is clearly unconstitutional. Welcome, Producer Joe. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing fine. Gee,
the audience gets a little screwed up when they don't hear from you, so me too. Welcome back to the show.
Windows update. Yeah,
in the middle of our show. But that's all right. We got going on time, so good to see you. Here is a video of another communist mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, who now, if you assemble and you have a house party, she's letting you know she's laying down the law. She hasn't read the First Amendment either. Yeah. Congress shall establish no law interfering with people's right to assemble. Here is Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot laying down the law. What law? I'm not sure. She's making it up as she goes along, but taking her cues from Stalin and Lenin and all. Check this out.
Now, I've directed Superintendent Brown to order all police districts to give special attention to these parties. And this is how it's going to be. We will shut you down. We will cite you. And if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail. Period. There should be nothing unambiguous about that. Don't make us treat you like a criminal. But if you act like a criminal and you violate the law and you refuse to do what is necessary to save lives in the city in the middle of a pandemic, we will take you to jail, period.
Oh, she's so tough. Oh, you're so tough. Oh, my gosh, we're quivering. By the way, the fakest tough guys, and by guys, I mean that generically. Obviously, Lori Lightfoot is a woman. The fakest tough guys I've ever seen, having spending literally my adult life, literally not figuratively, my entire adult life in mixed martial arts gyms with real fighters who fight for a living, have had bones broken, faces dented in, have been choked out repeatedly. I've spent my life, or I'm not suggesting I'm one of them, I'm telling you I've spent my life in the Secret Service, law enforcement, and mixed martial arts schools with the toughest people around. The fakest tough guys you will ever meet are the chatterbox talkers. We're coming for you. I'm laying it down. Yeah, whatevs. Okay. By the way, the first person, sue her. Sue her personally and cite that, because I don't know where she's finding this power, because it's not in the Constitution. Now, it gets worse. It gets not just Florida.
Yeah.
It's not just Maryland. It's not just Apex, North Carolina. This is happening all over the country. My former home state of Maryland. This is a piece by WBAL, a radio station I used to guest host at up there. 3 Republican lawmakers sue, I'm going to add tyrannical here, tyrannical Governor Larry Hogan over the stay-at-home order. Again, I don't know where Larry Hogan thinks he's getting these unconstitutional powers to threaten to arrest people, but these are allegations, of course. But Republican lawmaker Dan Cox, who is a delegate in Maryland, was apparently going to one of these freedom rallies, I'm calling him, to give a speech, and apparently alleges he was threatened with arrest if he spoke at that rally. This is incredible. We now have lawmakers threatened with arrest too. Again, the gulags. You have to read Solzhenitsyn and his books right now, because that's where we're going with this. And Solzhenitsyn's books, by the way, the Gulag Archipelago, which is long but is a must-read for any freedom-loving patriot out there, you'll see how the advent of this unconstitutional tyranny, in their case, they didn't have a constitution back then, but this tyranny, how it starts when good people stay quiet. And when good people say things like, I was just following orders. I was just doing your job. You're not doing your job. That's not your job. For the politicians and people in law enforcement, who, again, the people in law enforcement I have the deepest respect for. I was there with you. I fought these fights. I've been there. You swore an oath. That oath is your job. This isn't your job. I don't know who told you that, why you think this is your job, or why you think just following orders is some kind of an excuse. Your country here is collapsing in front of our eyes. I'm sorry, but this is not your job.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud, and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.